For decades, one name ruled the world of speed: Bugatti. It built cars so fast, so luxurious, and so expensive that most manufacturers never even tried to compete. Breaking a Bugatti record wasn't just difficult, it was considered impossible. Then, a tiny company from Sweden changed everything. No billion-dollar budget, no century of history, just one man's impossible dream: to build the greatest performance car the world had ever seen. People laughed. Experts doubted him. Some believed the company would disappear before it ever sold a single car. Instead, it forced Bugatti into one of the greatest engineering battles in automotive history. This is the story of how Koenigsegg challenged Bugatti and changed hypercars forever. Chapter 1. A dream nobody believed before Koenigsegg built million-dollar hypercars. Christian von Koenigsegg was just a child with an unusual dream. At 5 years old, he watched a short animated film about a man who built his own racing bicycle, despite everyone telling him it couldn't be done. That story never left him. Years later, Christian made a decision that shocked everyone around him. He wasn't going to work for Ferrari. He wasn't going to join Porsche. He wasn't going to become an engineer at Bugatti. He would create his own car company. There was one problem. He had never built a production car. No major investors, no famous engineers, no massive factory. Just an idea almost everyone believed would fail. But in 1994, Koenigsegg Automotive was born. Most people never imagined the name would survive. They were wrong. Transition. But surviving was about to become far more difficult than anyone expected. Chapter 2. When everything burned. Building the first prototype took years. Money was disappearing. Deadlines kept slipping. Every small victory came with another obstacle. Then, disaster struck. A fire destroyed much of Koenigsegg's workshop. Years of effort seemed to disappear overnight. For most startups, that would have been the end. Instead, Christian refused to quit. The team moved into an abandoned Swedish Air Force base. The enormous hangars once built for fighter jets became the birthplace of some of the world's fastest cars. The company had survived. Now, it had to prove it belonged. Chapter 3. They stopped copying everyone. Most manufacturers improved existing ideas. Koenigsegg asked a different question. What if the old ideas were wrong? One innovation after another appeared. Doors that rotated in a way no other production car had ever used. Carbon fiber construction that kept weight incredibly low. Suspension designed to keep massive power under control. The revolutionary one. A car producing 1 horsepower for every kilogram of weight. Then came free valve, an engine that questioned whether traditional camshafts were even necessary. Every new car ignored another industry rule. Koenigsegg wasn't trying to catch Ferrari, or Lamborghini, or Bugatti. It was trying to reinvent the hypercar itself. But one challenge remained. The fastest car in the world. Still wore a Bugatti badge. Chapter 4. The War for Speed. For years, Bugatti seemed untouchable. The Veyron rewrote history. More than 1,000 horsepower. Over 250 miles per hour. Luxury unlike anything else on Earth. Then came the Chiron. Even faster. Even more powerful. Many believed nobody would ever beat Bugatti again. Then, Koenigsegg arrived with the Agera RS on a quiet stretch of Nevada highway. Everything came down to one attempt. The road closed. The engineers waited. The driver accelerated. 100 mph, 200, 250. The world watched. Then, history changed. The Agera RS recorded an average top speed of 277.9 Maeslap, 447.2 km, h over 2 runs, setting a new production car speed record. The impossible had happened. The tiny Swedish company had surpassed the giant. But the battle wasn't over. Bugatti would answer with its own 300+ mph demonstration. Neither company was willing to stop pushing the limits. And that competition changed everything. Chapter 5. The rivalry that changed the world. People often ask, who won? The answer isn't that simple. Bugatti pursued effortless speed, luxury, refinement, and engineering on an enormous scale. Koenigsegg pursued lighter designs, bold experimentation, and solutions nobody else dared to attempt. One perfected tradition, the other challenged it. Together, they forced the entire industry forward. Without Bugatti, Koenigsegg might never have chased the impossible. Without Koenigsegg, Bugatti might never have faced the pressure to keep redefining what a hypercar could be. The winner wasn't one company, it was the hypercar itself. Today, Koenigsegg stands alongside Bugatti, Ferrari, McLaren, and Pagani. Not because it had the biggest budget, not because it played by the rules, but because one impossible dream refused to die. The company that almost nobody believed in helped reshape an entire industry. And that's why the greatest rivalries aren't about destroying your opponent. They're about pushing everyone further than they ever thought possible. So here's the question. If you could keep only one in your garage, would you choose the timeless luxury of Bugatti or the fearless innovation of Koenigsegg? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more documentaries exploring the world's greatest cars.